Before any championship is won in public, it is won in private. The first battle is never against competitors, circumstances, or lack of opportunity. The first battle is inside your own mind. That is why champions think differently before they ever live differently. They understand that the mind is the control center of every decision, every habit, and every result. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough, your actions will begin to follow that belief. But when you train your mind to expect growth, to expect progress, and to believe that your future can be greater than your past, something powerful begins to happen. You stop seeing obstacles as proof that you should quit, and you start seeing them as proof that you are growing. Many people wait for confidence before they take action, but champions know that confidence is built through action. They move forward even when they feel uncertain. They keep learning even when they make mistakes. They refuse to let temporary failures become permanent identities. One loss does not make you a loser. One setback does not make you a failure. The real failure is deciding that your current situation is all you will ever be. A championship mindset says, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I am becoming stronger every day. Your thoughts are shaping your future whether you realize it or not. The words you repeat to yourself become the beliefs you live by. If you focus only on what is missing, you will feel defeated before you even begin. But if you focus on what you can build, learn, and improve, you create momentum. Champions protect their minds because they know negative thinking can destroy potential before it ever has a chance to grow. So stop replaying old failures. Stop measuring yourself only by your current results. Start asking better questions. What can I learn from this? How can I improve? What would the strongest version of me do next? The moment you begin to think like a champion, you begin to prepare for a life that ordinary thinking could never create. Because every championship is won twice. First in the mind, and then in reality, everyone loves the idea of success, but very few people fall in love with the process that creates it. That process is called discipline. Motivation is exciting because it makes you feel powerful for a moment. You watch an inspiring video, hear an incredible speech, or read a life-changing quote, and suddenly you feel ready to conquer the world. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the alarm rings early in the morning, when you're tired, when nobody is encouraging you, or when progress feels painfully slow? That is the moment where champions separate themselves from everyone else. They don't rely on motivation to carry them. They rely on discipline. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want right now. It is showing up when you don't feel like showing up. It is practicing when nobody is watching. It is continuing to work when there is no applause, no recognition, and no guarantee that today's effort will pay off tomorrow. Champions understand that success is never built in one extraordinary moment. It is built through thousands of ordinary decisions made consistently over time. Look at any successful person, and you'll discover something they all have in common. They developed habits that supported their goals. They didn't wait until everything felt perfect. They took action despite discomfort. They understood that excuses are easy to create, but impossible to build a successful life upon. Every excuse gives temporary comfort, but every disciplined action builds permanent confidence. The more promises you keep to yourself, the more you begin to trust yourself. That trust becomes your greatest source of strength. There will be days when progress is invisible, days when you wonder if your effort even matters. But remember this, a seed spends a long time growing beneath the surface before anyone sees a tree. Your hard work is never wasted. Every disciplined choice is shaping your character, sharpening your skills, and preparing you for opportunities that are still on their way. Don't chase motivation every single day. Create routines that keep you moving even when your emotions tell you to stop. Wake up with purpose. Protect your time. Eliminate distractions. Stay committed to the small actions that others ignore, because those small actions eventually become remarkable achievements. Champions don't become champions because they feel different. They become champions because they act differently, day after day, regardless of how they feel. Because discipline is what carries you across the finish line when motivation is already given up. Pressure has a way of revealing who we truly are. When life is easy, almost anyone can feel confident. It's simple to believe in yourself when everything is going according to plan. But the real test begins when the pressure rises, when things don't happen as expected, when doors close, when people doubt you, and when failure seems closer than success. This is the moment where an ordinary mindset begins to panic, but a championship mindset begins to grow. Champions understand that pressure is not their enemy. It is their training ground. Think about the strongest people you admire. They were not shaped by comfort. They were shaped by challenges that forced them to become wiser, tougher, and more resilient. Every difficult season taught them lessons that success alone could never teach. Every setback became a classroom. Every disappointment became preparation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they asked, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single change in perspective transformed obstacles into opportunities. Too many people quit because they mistake pressure for a sign that they are on the wrong path. But often, pressure is evidence that you are growing beyond your comfort zone. Muscles become stronger by resisting weight. Diamonds are formed under intense pressure. Steel becomes stronger when it passes through fire. In the same way, your character becomes stronger every time you refuse to give up during difficult moments. Growth has never been comfortable, but it has always been worth it. There will be moments when you feel exhausted, misunderstood, and tempted to stop. You may not see immediate results from your hard work. You may experience failure after giving everything you have. But remember this, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey toward success. Every champion has lost more times than most people have even tried. The difference is that champions refuse to let one defeat define their future. They get back up, learn the lesson, adjust the strategy, and keep moving forward with even greater determination. When pressure enters your life, don't shrink, stand taller. Don't allow fear to control your decisions. Let adversity sharpen your focus instead of stealing your confidence. Every challenge you overcome is building a stronger version of yourself, one that is more prepared for the opportunities ahead. One day, you will look back and realize that the hardest seasons were not sent to destroy you. They were sent to prepare you for the life you once prayed for. Because pressure doesn't break champions, it reveals them. One of the fastest ways to lose confidence is to spend your life comparing yourself to everyone else. In today's world, it has become so easy to measure our lives against other people's success. We see someone making more money, achieving bigger goals, gaining more recognition, or reaching milestones before we do, and suddenly we begin to question our own journey. But champions understand something that most people forget. Comparison is a distraction. It steals your focus, weakens your confidence, and keeps you looking sideways instead of moving forward. If you truly want to think like a champion, stop competing with everyone else and start competing with the person you were yesterday. Every person has a different starting point, a different background, different struggles, and a different purpose. You cannot compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. What looks like overnight success is often the result of years of unseen sacrifice, discipline, and persistence. Instead of asking why someone else is ahead, ask yourself a more powerful question. Am I becoming better than I was yesterday? That is the only competition that truly matters. Champs wake up each day with one mission: to improve. Maybe it's becoming 1% stronger, learning one new skill, making one better decision, or correcting one bad habit. These small improvements may seem insignificant at first, but over time they create extraordinary transformation. Greatness is not built through giant leaps. It is built through consistent progress that compounds day after day. There will always be someone faster, richer, smarter, or more experienced. If your happiness depends on being better than everyone else, you will never find peace. But if your goal is continuous growth, you will always have something to celebrate. Every challenge becomes a chance to improve. Every mistake becomes valuable feedback. Every new day becomes another opportunity to become a stronger version of yourself. Don't waste your energy trying to prove your worth to people who are not running your race. Focus on your own lane. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Stay patient with yourself because meaningful growth takes time. The strongest oak tree did not become strong overnight. It became strong by surviving season after season, storm after storm. When you stop chasing other people's lives, you finally have the freedom to build your own. Keep raising your personal standard. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep becoming the person your future deserves. Because the goal is not to be better than someone else. The goal is to become the best version of yourself one day at a time. Because the greatest victory is not defeating others. It is becoming better than the person you were yesterday. Every champion reaches a moment when they realize that success is not just about what they do, it is about who they become. Skills can help you get opportunities, talent can open doors, and knowledge can give you an advantage. But your identity determines whether you can sustain success. If deep down you still see yourself as someone who quits easily, doubts constantly, or settles for less, your actions will eventually match that belief. But when you begin to see yourself as disciplined, resilient, and capable of overcoming obstacles, your choices start to change. You no longer act based on your feelings. You act based on the person you have decided to become. Your identity is built through the stories you tell yourself every single day. If you keep repeating, "I'm just not lucky, I'm not talented enough," or "success isn't meant for me," those words slowly become the limits of your life. Champions replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. They don't pretend life is easy, but they remind themselves that they are strong enough to face whatever comes next. They understand that the conversation happening inside their mind is more important than the opinions coming from the outside world. Building a champion's identity also means protecting your environment. The people you spend time with influence your thinking more than you realize. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, excuses, and fear, it becomes difficult to think boldly. But when you spend time around people who challenge you to grow, encourage your dreams, and hold you accountable, you naturally begin to raise your own standards. Champions are intentional about what they listen to, what they watch, what they read, and who they allow to influence their mindset. There will be moments when you don't feel like a champion. You may feel uncertain, discouraged, or overwhelmed. But remember this, identity is not built by feelings. It is built by repeated actions. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, courage over fear, and persistence over quitting, you cast another vote for the person you are becoming. Eventually, those repeated choices create a mindset that cannot be easily shaken. Stop waiting for the world to call you successful before you start acting like someone who deserves success. Walk with confidence. Speak with purpose. Keep your promises to yourself. Hold yourself to a higher standard even when no one is watching. Because champions don't wait for external validation to believe in themselves. They create that belief from within, and then they live it every single day until their results catch up with their identity. Asterisk, because the moment you change who you believe you are, you begin to change what you are capable of becoming. At the end of the day, being a champion is not about holding a trophy, receiving applause, or hearing people praise your name. Those are simply the rewards that may come later. The true championship is won in the quiet moments, when no one is watching. It is won when you choose to keep going after everyone else has stopped. It is won when you continue believing in your dream, even when the results are taking longer than you expected. Champions understand that greatness is not an event. It is a lifestyle. It is a decision you make every single day. There will be times when nobody notices your effort. You will work hard without recognition. You will sacrifice comfort while others choose convenience. You will stay committed while others give up. In those moments, it is easy to question whether your dedication is worth it. But remember this, the world rarely celebrates the preparation. It celebrates the outcome. People see the victory, but not the countless mornings you woke up early. They admire the confidence, but never witness the moments when you fought through self-doubt. They applaud the success, but overlook the years of discipline that made it possible. Never let a lack of recognition become a reason to lower your standards. Continue doing the right thing even when no one is applauding. Keep learning when others stop growing. Keep improving when others become comfortable. Every day you remain faithful to your purpose. You are building a foundation that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or outside opinions. A champion also understands that success is never a final destination. Every achievement becomes the starting point for another level of growth. There is always another lesson to learn, another habit to strengthen, another challenge to overcome. That is why true champions remain humble. They celebrate their victories without becoming satisfied by them. They continue showing up with the same hunger, the same discipline, and the same commitment that brought them success in the first place. As you leave today, remember everything you've learned. Win the battle in your mind before you try to win in the world. Choose discipline over excuses. Let pressure strengthen you instead of breaking you. Compete only with the person you were yesterday. Build an identity that reflects the future you want to create. Then live every single day with the heart, character, and persistence of a champion, whether anyone notices or not. One day, the results you've been working for will arrive. The doors you've been praying for will open. The opportunities you've been preparing for will appear. And when that moment comes, it won't be luck. It will be the reward for every decision you made when nobody was watching. Because champions are not defined by the day they win. They are defined by the days they refuse to quit.